Oh my god, hey, good morning and hello. My name is Mickey Joe, I'm obsessed with all things theatre. 2 days ago, I arrived in Edinburgh for the Edinburgh Festival Fringe 2025 to see as many plays and musicals and theatrical performances here as possible. I'm currently scheduled to see 49 shows over 7 days. This is day 3 and hopefully my third vlog from the Fringe. Now, like I said, I arrived 2 days ago, but this morning, Storm Floris arrived, and that is going to make everything today seem much more dramatic than it realistically actually is, because I am just, trying to see theatre. I am not saving lives. However, it is windy, it is rainy, and I am power walking like a duck. I will show you. Got this going on because the floor is wet, and these are not my grippiest shoes. And I'm holding a donut from Kilted Donut, which helpfully is very nearby to our hostel. This shall not be the last donut of the week. It's Biscoff. It is large. I will show you. Look at this, look at this. Consider the scale of my hand and the scale of the donut. I've made a great choice. I'm walking this way to a 9:45 show. Who let me do that? I'm going to a show called Sped Kid at the Space at Surgeons Hall. It is this way. Oh, I have a tailwind now. That sped me up a bit. I am the Sped Kid. Actually, I don't think that's what it means. Oh no, Floris. Floris, that's so unkind. I do have a coat with me. Didn't bring it because it's going to stop raining at midday, and I'm going to spend most of the time between now and then inside shows, which are indoors, and I don't want to thereafter have a coat I'm carrying around with me. I still don't have my media accreditation. There's a lanyard I can pick up, but I haven't had the time. I have been in back-to-back shows for the last 2 days. Every waking hour that the office has been open. Ugh. Floris, why? Like I said, more dramatic than it needs to be. I'm gonna eat this donut now. I hope you enjoy day 3. It was very good. It was a good time. Would you like any, Floris? Floris can't have this. My donut and I are going down this mysterious alleyway through some steps, heading from one of Edinburgh's lower levels to one of the higher ones. This is a city with many hills and many steps, just so you're aware. Those were not the correct steps. And it's not a hat day. Guess what, it's not a hat day, because I was wearing this Six the Musical hat, which of course premiered here at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe back in 2018, and I saw it there, not when I bought the hat, but yeah, I like to try and wear Fringe related things, like this Fringe sweatshirt from last year, but this was just blown clean off my head instantly and carried 15 feet and picked up by a kindly stranger. So we're not putting this back on, we're putting this in the bag, and we're just going to be billowing in the wind. Oh, it's getting worse. It's getting so much worse. Floris is mad. She's mad I didn't give her the donut. I should have made an offering to the Biscoff gods. I can't see anything. My show is in 5 minutes. I'm not walking at my usual homosexual walking pace. This pace is called Gay in the Wind. But we have arrived. We've made it through the storm. Oh, the entrance is here. The Space at Surgeons Hall. What a grand entrance. And an outdoor queuing area. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't know how many other 9:45 shows there are, so there's every chance that this one is for me. Plot twist, it was not. That is not my queue. There are other shows. There are always other shows here at the Fringe. And they haven't started scanning tickets yet. So I am waiting in this covered zone to go and see Sped Kid. And I have a nice 40 to 45 minute gap after that. So that's good. That's calm. I'm going to let my heart rate return to normal levels now. And this is the Haldane Theatre, little black box curtain space created here for Sped Kid. Thematic pre-show playlist or simply vibes? Okay, if you're wondering, the answer to the question is that it was thematic music because it was set in 1984, which is fun because the next show I'm seeing is 1984. What a morning. No curtain call footage from that one for the same reason that I wasn't taking notes, because I was only oh my gosh. Okay, let's stay in the covered area. That was a premature departure. Basically, as you could probably tell from the last bit of footage that you saw inside of the space, it was a fairly small audience, which happens sometimes. It's a Monday morning. It is a 9:45 show, but we were the lucky ones because that was a really fantastic piece of theatre, and it still felt like a very special little audience community, actually, and it was really warmly received by those of us who were there. But when you're one of 4 audience members, and I can't applaud if I'm holding a camera, which I feel bad about all the time, but I'm like, if I'm holding a camera, I feel like you're all getting to applaud as well, and so it's part of it. But for a performer in the room, when there's 4 people, they need my applause. If I'm one of 4 people, that's what I'm trying to say. And I didn't want to take notes as well for this. It's just a little too conspicuous, basically. I like to try and think of the performer in that moment, but I'm going to review that show and then head out through Storm Flores over to Pleasance Courtyard to join my friends, because I think a bunch of us are seeing 1984. Here is the line that jumped out to me and is still ringing in my ears after the show that I just saw. I would rather be bullied than be invisible. Oh my god, hey, it is day 3 for me at the Edinburgh Fringe, and I have braved Storm Flores for a 9:45 AM show here at the Space at Surgeons Hall, and it was Sped Kid. This is a show about a 12-year-old boy in Boston, Massachusetts, who is transitioning for the first time into special education because he is becoming increasingly visually impaired. And it's a one-person show made so endearingly brilliant by his unique perspective on his circumstances and the friends that he's finally getting to make on the bus that now drives him to school, and the contradiction between the acceptance that he now feels in that community and the sense of being othered that he is simultaneously perceiving from the other students at the school. This is a hugely heartwarming and innocent account of a young man coming to terms with disability, mesmerizingly performed, an incredibly special piece of theatre. I've spent some time with students with special educational needs, and I thought the writing really faithfully captured that particular voice. If this is going to speak to you at all personally, I urge you to come and see this at the Space at Surgeons Hall. I thought this was really touching. Back to the Penguin Walk, but I can see blue skies up ahead. I will show you. It doesn't look at all windy. You're going to have to trust me. But I think it is going to get nice. The rain is already easing off, so that is good. Today is not as intense a day as yesterday, to remind you or catch you up if you haven't seen my vlog from yesterday. I saw 9 shows yesterday, back to back, and today the day is culminating with a performance not from the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, but from the Edinburgh Festival, the Edinburgh International Festival. This is Make It Happen, new play by James Graham, and proper long piece of theatre at the Edinburgh Festival Theatre. And if you don't know, and I didn't until quite recently, the Edinburgh Festival actually came first and the Edinburgh Festival Fringe arose around that. And that is actually, I believe, the correct order of the words, but I found out about the Fringe way before I learned about the actual festival, which is not to say there aren't fantastic pieces of theatre programmed for the festival, but the Fringe has become really huge. Oh my gosh. The wind, the wind, the wind. I know I have something of a reputation for just talking about the weather constantly, and I'm going to try not to let my every sentence today be interrupted by conversations about the wind. Oh, my hair's kind of cute like that. But it is biblical, I need you to know that. Here we are at the Pleasance Courtyard, and my friends... Oh, wait a minute. My friends are seeing Whale, Where Are You Going? Maybe I could go wait for them up there. That might be a cute idea. Wow. Okay, this is... Flores! Why have you followed me to the Pleasance Courtyard, Flores? I don't want to be friends. I found my friends. They all just saw the show I saw yesterday with the whale and the puppet. Kate also got a kilted donut. Yay! Aaron, you got a paperclip plane. Yay! Update. Show got cancelled. We were queuing for 1984 at the Pleasance Courtyard because of the inclement weather, which has just, as I say those words, momentarily subsided. They've had to close the entirety of the Pleasance Courtyard for safety reasons. I don't believe it's affecting other venues today, and that's the only show I had at Pleasance Courtyard, so hopefully that is not disruptive. There is a show I wanted to see called Much Ado About Pirates at the Space at Nidri Street, so I'm currently leading the group like the Pied Piper of the Edinburgh Fringe. It's in like 6 minutes. I don't think we can actually get there in time, so we'll see. We will see what happens. We have 3 minutes till the show. I just bought 6 tickets on the Fringe website. We are approaching the venue, same venue where we finished last night, actually. Yay that it's a 2-for-1 Monday. Made it. Got flyers. There we go. Same space as last night, different configuration. Woohoo! Florist is flourishing. Screams on the street. That show was really great though. Really I'm very glad that we caught it. That was proper youth theatre. I don't know if it's from like a youth theatre group or a school. It's Westcliff Boys.
It might be like a boys' schools after school.
It's from Essex, I believe. I believe that's where Westcliff. If it's the same Westcliff, there's many Western Cliffs. But very glad that we caught that.
Yeah, that was cute. It was very cute.
We have a little bit of time now, so we're heading off to go and pick up our media passes, those of us who don't have them yet, and then I might get lunch. I might get lunch at Cowgate. Although I do have to get all the way to George, the wheelie bins. Carnage behind me on the street. What a dramatic instalment of the Edinburgh Fringe Day 3 has become. I hope I survive this, honestly. Yeah, I've got a show at 1 o'clock. It is 12:26. I should not get carried away. That is the thing. I should still head in the direction I need to be heading. Lord me, unnecessary journeys. This day is a lot. Pleasance Courtyard, I've had an email. They are shut until 6 p.m. I don't think other venues are affected. The space definitely wasn't. It's fine when you're indoors, although we did just walk past a building and people on the street said that it was about to fall down. So it's not ideal. We are here at Fringe Central. Here in Grassmarket. Woo woo! Successful! We have accreditation. We are official. I am Mickey Joe Boucher for Mickey Joe Theatre. I am also heading back to Underbelly Cowgate, where Kate's next show is. And Kate's going there to see theatre. I'm going there to get food before I go somewhere else to see theatre. Plot twist. They are not yet ready. They're going to be ready in about 20 minutes, but my show starts in 20 minutes. I probably should have got something else from there. I did see people with food, so something is open. But I very much want to just get to where I need to be. So heading up to George Square. Can I go that way? Maybe, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go via my usual little intersection, which is the little walkway down behind Gilded Balloon, under the underpass, next to Bristow, up that walkway, and then I'll be in George Square, and we will find out if my show is actually happening. Sometimes the Edinburgh Fringe can surprise you, and when Storm Florist closed the Pleasance Courtyard for the day, I ran from the queue that I was in to another show that I'd been desperate to see but didn't think I was going to get the chance to. It is Much Ado About Pirates at the space at Nidri Street from Westcliff Boys Theatre. This, I believe, is a school theatre group, very talented young performers, in particularly the one who was playing Jonathan, fantastic actor, my gosh. And the show itself was an ingenious mashup of Gilbert and Sullivan's The Pirates of Penzance and William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing, the concept being that Jonathan is leaving the pirates to whom he has been apprenticed to go and become an actor, and when they reveal to him that they have discovered a paradox, meaning that he's not allowed to leave until his 21st birthday and he's not going to have one of those for several decades, he points out that he, unlike Frederick, has no sense of duty, and so this doesn't really faze him. This was a really fantastic piece of theatre actually, very smartly written, very charmingly performed. Occasionally someone will walk completely the wrong direction during group choreography. Sometimes a hat will fall off, but that is absolutely part of its charm. You love to see the dedication and the passion and the genuine enjoyment from young performers on stage. That's what makes this so fun to watch. And the way that they were explicating Shakespeare was genuinely fantastic and better than a lot of professional productions that I've seen. It's a remarkably smart fusion of the material performed giddily by this jolly ensemble. Go and check it out until the 9th of August only at the space at Nidri Street. No one tells you when you're starting out as a critic, so I'm telling you now, don't try and film a talking review while walking up a set of stairs. Oh gosh. As we pass through, keep an eye out for Aaron James, who has come here for his next show. I don't think it started just yet. No, his starts in 4 minutes. I don't imagine we'll walk past his queue, but if I don't spot him, you should try to, and you can wave. He won't see you, but it'll be nice. This is our first time walking down what I like to refer to as Flyer Alley. You get a lot of people hanging out here, promoting their shows. This is the path that connects Bristow Square on our right, and its Underbelly venue, and the Pleasant Stone behind us, to Assembly in George Square, and also Underbelly in George Square, beyond which is the walk to Summer Hall. Oh my gosh, woo, I'm actually being blown sideways. Yeah. It's too much. Picking this up was a mistake. Possibly now we're choking as a tailwind again. We're running apparently. Okay, our next gap is between 2 and 2:50 after this show, so the executive decision has been made that I'm going to eat then. This is Assembly George Square, and the layout is totally different this year. The Palais du Variety has shifted a little, has turned slightly, and we now have a bar area in front of there. We've lost a little space in the corner, which I guess is now a backstage area, but we still have lots of eateries, which is good. Dumplings and popcorn chicken. Is that calling to me in an hour's time? Or is it the fried chicken and lobster rolls over there? Or the mac and cheese? And I can smell the donuts. The donuts that made me drop my camera last year, but it was worth it. And the camera survived. I don't think my show is in here because it's George Square, not George Square Gardens. I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place. I have 7 minutes and I'm in the wrong place. Okay, I was right. Originally, this is where I was walking to, then I doubled back and went into the gardens. But no, the box is over here. I can see signage. If in doubt, look for somebody in an Assembly t-shirt for Assembly venues or whatever the relevant venue staff is, and they will point you in the right direction. Spoiler alert, it's the big thing here. It's the shipping container that has box written on the side. And this is what it looks like inside of a storage container that has been turned into a theatrical space. I will see you for the curtain call. Show number 17 at the Edinburgh Fringe was set in space, and while these two female astronauts were navigating workplace tensions as well as space debris, the audience was navigating fascinating tonal shifts. This was Alone in the Box. You're basically seeing a play inside a shipping container, which was so brilliantly atmospheric for this increasingly tense piece of theatre. It begins with just funny workplace interactions. One of them is playing music too loudly. These are two female astronauts. One of them is the pilot, the other is a very dedicated scientist. Much of the increasingly existential conversation that they have is about how they are treated in these roles as women, because even though this is set in the future and Earth and its atmosphere are dying, misogyny lives on. There is also some really interesting dialogue about the dichotomy of a love of science and religion simultaneously. This only becomes more pertinent as they discover that something is wrong with the ship that they are on. We experience these somersaulting power dynamics between the two of them, as well as the men who they are corresponding with, who are giving them instructions that they are not allowed to contradict back on Earth. It's a fascinating, increasingly gripping piece of theatre. Go and check it out at Assembly. That review is hilarious because, I don't know, this is the microphone I'm using for the reviews. I don't know how much of that you can hear because of the wind. I don't know how much of this you can hear because of the wind, but I tried to find shelter up there. I've also found Aaron James. Wow. Okay. This is really crazy. I get what you mean now when you said you were buying the Trojan horse. I understand. I hope you can hear any of this, tiny people on my camera. I hope.
I guess it's a Trojan unicorn.
It is sort of a Trojan unicorn, isn't it? Yeah, that's a good point. Kate's getting coffee. And
Boozy
then
coffee.
Should we go underground? I don't know. What's the best course of action here?
No idea.
Tell us more about this boozy coffee.
It's a nutty boozy coffee. It's like
Ooh.
they have like Baileys and things like that in them. So it's
What's this one?
This is the nutty boozy coffee.
Nutty
which
boozy.
is hazelnut liqueur.
Hazelnut liqueur.
Espresso, milk,
Ooh.
whipped cream, caramel syrup, and cinnamon.
Nice, very nice. Back in Assembly George Square Gardens to get some food. Got about 40 minutes before the next show. Just said hello to some viewers of the vlogs and things who were saying hello to me, Aaron and Kate. I was gonna get mac and cheese, specifically the posh mac and cheese. They're doing a post-kid show meet and greet over here. It's very cute. There's like a ringmaster character there. I love this venue, by the way, just the outdoor aesthetic. But I changed my mind and I'm getting fried chicken. I always have fried chicken, so I was going to have something different. But the fried chicken has a fermented peach hot sauce, and I was like, I want to know what that is. So I'm going to try it. I feel like I made the right call because look at how amazing this food looks. I'm happy to just have nourishment to put in my mouth, but this looks gorgeous. So very excited to try some of this. The Fringe hustle is real as we pass through Assembly George Square Gardens alongside an inflatable performer. Inflatable actors are people too, or in fact, they are not. Ooh, cocktails. We're in the wrong gardens, and we knew this. This was not a surprise. We're going to leave the Assembly Gardens and go next door to the Underbelly Gardens.
That's one of the new venues today.
Oh.
I've never done the downstairs at Assembly Roxy.
Uh-huh.
First. I've never done Frisian before. That was a first.
I hadn't done downstairs at Roxy before yesterday either.
Had you ever done Frisian or Jersey? The two that are under McKeown?
I'm sure I have.
Where would you?
Ow!
And then
My accreditation hit me in the head.
And I've never been in Weekly.
Oh, there you go. Oh, look, Aaron, stroopwafels.
Yeah.
Stroopwafels, how exciting. Grabbing a passion fruit record leg in Underbelly, George Square Gardens, with the big cow, or the coo, as they would say in Scottish. We don't know what show this is in the cow at the moment.
I think it's the Sing with musicals.
Had a bit of Greatest Showman,
And now we're
a bit of Hamilton,
And now we're on to
Bo Rap.
Borough.
They're going for like crowd appeal.
Yeah.
I also got a cupcake from Please Breakfast on the go. Yeah. And this is our setup inside the wee coo for Altar. And for the first time this Fringe, I have a beverage during the show. I have not managed to set this up until now. Thank goodness. Dramatic scenes as we leave the wee coo and find out we can't exit the square via the way we came in because a tree has fallen. Floris is out here causing chaos. This cow. Moo. How amusing. Show number 18 at the Edinburgh Fringe was Altar, an Australian trans-led play about queer regret. This is set in the midst of a wedding day, and many awkward conversations can arise at a wedding, but few can compete with the uncomfortable reunion between two childhood friends who became adolescent queer lovers and are now meeting for the first time in years at very different points in their life, trying to recall the relationship that they had from the vantage point of one of them now committing to a more heteronormative life, having just got married. And they share a sort of loaded proximity as they sit together or chase each other around a church pew that is practically varnished with romantic tension and resentment, each trying to come to terms with the people who they are now, the extent to which they've changed, the extent to which they haven't. And it made for a lot of really interesting conversation, parts of which felt regressive when we were talking once again about the intersection between religion and science and queer identity, which also happened to be a topic which arose in the last play that I saw just before this one. Ultimately, although there was a lot of fantastic character study, this did perhaps feel like a scene that was extended into an entire play and didn't necessarily have the scope to last for as long as it did. Perhaps if there was some sort of a ticking clock, a sense of stakes, a justification even for the bride having spent so much time away from her own wedding reception. I do appreciate that. One of the most nuanced trans characters I have ever seen portrayed on stage, brilliantly performed. If you want to see it for yourself, you can find Altar at Underbelly, George Square. It's still crazy. Floris is still... I still have my microphone on from that review. Aaron, this is too much. I don't like it. I'm going to include the outtake from the review I was just filming where I got interrupted by Floris halfway through. The intersection of queerness and... I'm sad. I don't have anything to tell you. I just wanted to show you my hair. This once again tried to kill me. Caught the breeze. Am I in danger at this festival? We have made it in. We have some pre-show action on stage and a very full lecture theatre here. I've seen a lot of great shows in this space, everything from Dolly Parton Drag to Dylan Mulvaney to Casey and the Sunshine Band. I have my notebook on my little bench again. And we are back out to... Okay, it's not dying down as I start talking. There we go. There she is. There's Floris. I'm walking as fast as I can. Ow! Press accreditation to the face. Again. Again. Aaron, am I talking about the weather too much now?
I was saying they did sing in thunder, lightning, or in rain, and then we come out and it's like wind!
Marking myself safe from Storm Floris, I have made it to Underbelly Cowgate, and I am heading to Belly Laugh is the name of the sub-venue, the particular space for which I am searching, which I think means, yes, it means going up this winding stone staircase. now leaving Underbelly Cowgate, wearing my little microphone, because I'm about to film the 2 reviews that I haven't yet done, so I'm all caught up before my final show, what is currently scheduled to be my final show today. It finishes at 10:10, and there's plenty of stuff I could see after. I just don't know if I want to. I don't know if there's anything screaming out to me. Like when we found out 1984 was cancelled this morning, I was like, oh, there's something I wanted to see in this time slot. And I've had this space open for weeks and there's been nothing. So I would just be seeing something for the sake of it. I thought that was my pen. That is not. My pen is still here. I'd just be seeing something for the sake of it, which is never really a good idea. And there's nothing that any of my friends are going to, because I'd go see something socially just to join someone at a show. There's nothing really that fits, so I might just go back and catch up on the vlog editing. I've seen 3 Australian shows back to back today, that's an obvious connection, but also I've seen 3 different shows today that have spoken at length and with complexity about the intersection between queerness and religion, and specifically Christian religion, and I just think that's a lot. If your childhood looked anything like mine, you may remember a lot of teen high school comedy films which adapted Shakespearean plots. 10 Things I Hate About You being an example, She's the Man being another, and that, I had assumed, is what Lady Macbeth played Wing Defence was trying to do in transplanting the story of Macbeth to an Australian high school girls basketball team. Except the thing that all of those have in common is that they tend to be fairly zany comedies, and this, although it had all of the opportunity to be and all of the ingredients, ultimately just wasn't. And despite a couple of colourful characters, there seemed to be this dedication to taking us back to a place of utter seriousness. We had a handful of Shakespearean asides that felt really out of place, and a score that was neither funny enough nor articulate enough to stand anywhere in proximity to Shakespeare. And sadly, as well, as much as I loved the idea of the concept, I think we had a storytelling problem, because we can't connect to this complicated protagonist character if we have no insight into why, since year 7, all she has wanted to do is be the captain of the girls' basketball team in year 12. And there's so many options as to what that could be. It could be something sincere, like trying to earn the respect of a parent. It could be something ridiculous, like coming from a long line of year 12 basketball team captains. Sadly, I just feel there was so much more that this show could have done to take us to, if not an outrageous, then at least a slightly funny place. And while we're at it, we can do better for a gender-flipped name than first name Max, second name Beth. For one thing, how about Beth? That was show number 19, Lady Macbeth played Wing Defence at the Assembly George Square Studios. I have reached my 20th show at the 2025 Edinburgh Fringe, and that was the Monkeypox Gospel at Underbelly Cowgate. I have been so excited about this one, an autobiographical solo show using truthful pre-recorded interviews and real-world sound bites, all about the earliest cases of monkeypox in New York City in 2022 and the lack of a thorough response. The piece was full of references to and rooted in a perspective from the intersection of being Congolese and being gay, but also grappling with a religious upbringing and contending with the realization that writing about monkeypox for The New Yorker is an admission of existing not just as a homosexual, but coming out truly as a proud, sexually active homosexual. Now, we are forewarned that it's going to be slightly structurally cacophonous, and he's not kidding. Ultimately, I'm not sure that it builds to a cohesive point as much as it conveys a portrait of one man challenged by these different facets of his identity. But there's something incredibly powerful about conveying one's soul so personally and so vulnerably on stage. I also loved these insights that were shared about viruses as a reflection of society and the direct through line connecting early Belgian colonialism in the Congo with the lack of early treatment of HIV and the global consequences of that. I enjoyed all of the use of audio. I so wish that it had been captioned, just projected onto the wall, maybe even alongside a graphic of the waveform. The whole thing opens with a discussion of waveforms and conversation and what it means to really listen to each other, so I think that could have been a brilliant way of giving it a visual identity at the same time. If any or all of this sounds as interesting to you as it was to me, go and check out the Monkeypox Gospel at Underbelly Cowgate for a very moving and thoughtful piece of theatre. Okay, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? There I am. There I am. The hair is beyond saving today. Classic Edinburgh Fringe is standing here on this street, filming a review in this corner, and then a critic friend walks past and waves. So if you see my eyeline moving at any point in that one, that is why. That was my friend Holly. I am standing nearby to the Edinburgh International Festival, or the Edinburgh Festival Theatre. I'm reading the signs that say Edinburgh International Festival. I have never been here before, and technically what I'm about to see now is not a fringe show, this is a festival show, which I have never seen anything from. I've never partaken of the Edinburgh Festival proper. But I have my ticket for the James Graham play, Make It Happen. I am so excited about this one. I love James Graham. This is very sold out, and I feel like this is James Graham doing what he does best in writing something factual and truthful and historical. Brian Cox is starring in this. He walked past me earlier in Flyer Alley when it was very windy, so I hope he's okay and has made it back to the theatre, because he was walking in the wrong direction. Here it is here. There are lots of other people going inside, which is reassuring to me. This is just like a standard 7:30 curtain. How normal. I feel like this might even be a little bit of a culture shock after seeing so many pieces of theatre for an hour at a time in like lecture theatres and shipping containers, to go into an actual theatre building. Also, I only ever really drink cider at family barbecues or at the Edinburgh Fringe. When I'm seeing theatre, I drink wine. So here's the question. Am I going to get a cider when I go in right now to have with my caffeine pills so I don't fall asleep in this play? Or am I going to have a white wine? I feel like I'm going to have a white wine. I don't know why. This is the posterage here for Make It Happen. There you go. Co-produced by the Edinburgh International Festival, National Theatre of Scotland and Dundee Rep Theatre, in association with Playful Productions and Neal Street Productions. All of which translates, by the way, to I think it's going to transfer somewhere. Don't try this at home because I don't know if this is medically advisable, but caffeine pills. Rosé. 2-act play. Okay, this building is very weird, y'all, because I've been seeing theatre for a couple days now, and this one is A, really big, B, there's like multiple floors all looking at the same thing, C, there's just so much colour, and there's these like really decadent lights. I don't know what's going on. What even is this? I'm being tongue-in-cheek before you tell me in the comments. Actually in the interval already, but thought I'd show you this view of the auditorium of the Festival Theatre. 3 different levels here. Brian Cox just appeared over there. Wait till I get to tell you about what Brian Cox is doing in this play. It's very fun. It's basically the Lehman trilogy, and I'm not going to be able to review it for you for a little while because I've made so many pages of notes. This is my view from the stage. I'm stood up, but I'm in B42, about 4 rows from the front, just slightly left of the central block. Basically, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with this one review-wise, because everything else I've been reviewing in about 90 seconds on Instagram, the little reviews you've been seeing here, and each Fringe show has had 1 page of notes. And this one already for Act 1 has probably about 12 pages of notes, maybe 14. So this is going to have to be a full, longer review, one of my usual 30 to 45 minute numbers, I expect. So that'll have to wait to be filmed until after I get back, which makes the notes very important. I have missed being inside a big theatre auditorium, I grant you. So this is the view of the bar area between the stalls and circle of the Edinburgh Festival Theatre, and the view out onto the street. And I'm now going to head back inside for Act 2. Okie dokie, strikingly interesting audience reaction there. Not a full standing ovation, which is not always a given. You kind of feel like you get it out of obligation on Broadway, in the West End, and at the Fringe, not out of obligation. And so you see sort of disparate audience standing ovations, but even in the interval there was a real sense of uncertainty about the direction the play was going in, because for a Scottish audience, and a story about the fatal collapse of the Royal Bank of Scotland, there was such an anticipation of how much condemnation was coming in the second act, and whether they were going to be hard enough on them. And there's such a comparison to be made with the Lehman trilogy, my largest criticism of which, fantastic play, the Lehman trilogy. But my biggest criticism has always been, it's from the vantage point of these powerful, great men of history who suffered minimally in comparison with the individuals who suffered, like their legacy was tarnished versus the lives that were ruined, the desolation that was wrought by their excess. And I think, I don't know, full review pending. You're not going to see it here because I need time, which I don't have at the moment. This is going to have to be a much fuller review. I can't do this one in 90 seconds, as I said. It would seem as though the end result and the condemnation that was brought down upon the individuals who destroyed so many lives in emotional proximity to members of that audience that I was overhearing was not sufficient, which is interesting. Anyway, my camera is on 6% battery. I am heading back towards the hostel. It's probably going to be my earliest night of the week because it's only about 20 past 10. I really want a pizza. I decided this earlier. I want a pizza and the hostel so I can edit a vlog tonight and all of today's reviews and edit this vlog in the morning and get back on schedule. So going to go and meet Sean in Cowgate to go and try and find pizza. And yeah, camera on 6%. I'm on even less than 6%, honestly. But that has been day 3 at the Fringe. I expect I'll give you a little bit of an epivlog when I get the pizza and get back to the hostel. For now, thank you for spending the day with me. It's been nice chatting to you. I hope that you've enjoyed. I'm starting to go, someone just spoke to me as I was leaving the festival theatre to say, big fan, how's your Fringe going? And my answer has become starting to go a little bit insane. So, thank you for keeping me sane, tiny people, in my camera. It's only slightly windy now. Floris is dying down, and honestly, same. I have made it back to my top bunk office, eating the pizza. This was good pizza. £12 for a pie, £3 for a slice. Editing yesterday's vlog, Vlogception. You've probably seen this already. Aaron just got back from the shows that he's been seeing. The rest of us have been chilling. Does anyone want to share their best show of the day?
Whale, where are you?
Whale, where are you going? Yes.
Oh yes, that's it.
Yes. We've had some corkers today, I shan't lie. We are sort of,
Don't tell Dad about Diana.
yeah.
I had a really good morning.
Yeah, we have been licking our wounds a little bit for some theatrical
I
disappointments.
didn't get up very high note 'cause we saw Hole, which I freaking love.
You loved Hole.
Hole was so good.
A lot of love for Hole in the room.
We love Hole. We love Hole.
Big fans of Hole here. Sean, how do you
I'm a big fan of Home.
highlight of the day?
But Don't Tell Dad About Diana was my favourite show.
Nice, nice. All these recommendations that I'm having to add into my schedule. Thank you for joining us for day 3. We'll see you tomorrow. Not even halfway, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for day 4 at the Edinburgh Fringe. I just hit myself in the glasses, but thankfully I can't feel things anymore. I'll see you tomorrow. For 10 more seconds, I'm Mickey Joe Theatre. Oh my god, hey. Thanks for watching. Have a stagey day. Subscribe!